I'm live?
You're live.
Uh-oh, watch out. We're live again. Wow. Thank you guys for joining us, and thank you all for joining us too in the barn here. Yes.
Thanks for coming out, you guys.
We're so excited.
Oh, you do get to listen to us move everything that's on the table, just so you know. Like every time we touch something, you're gonna hear it. It's all right.
So we are so happy to be here while those of you joining us online are logging in and getting ready. Speaking of that, I'll do the same. So if you have any questions, just post them and we'll try to get to them as we go through the tasting. Yes, it's a tad bit warm today. We want to acknowledge all the impacts with the fires here in California. We're trying to get through it, and very thankful for all our first responders out there on the front line, trying to contain all our fires, keep the smoke out of the air, and keep them off our grapes.
Yes.
So,
So what does the, because I had a few people asking us today, what does the ash actually do to the grapes?
well, for a prolonged period, if you got a lot of smoke and you're within a very specific impact zone, then you will get what's called smoke taint in the wine, in the finished wine.
That
So
doesn't sound good.
it's not good, especially with really delicate white wines. Very challenging. So we've gone through a similar situation back in 2008. We had some local kind of fires here, and we had air quality such as we've had in the past week or week and a half, and we didn't see any impacts then. So we're praying and knocking on wood that we don't have any impacts
Okay, good.
now. But
Now,
with that being said,
we have a guest today, you guys. We have a chef. She brought us food. So
Yes.
all of us that are here, we get to have some food. So she's gonna come up. This is Miss Kay. Hello, Miss Kay. Hi, Mike's gonna
yes,
take the mic out.
this is
so
Miss
you can talk.
Chef K
Miss-
with
I'm sorry, it's always a miss to
sorry.
me. You're actually a chef. She's a chef, you
with
guys.
Kays Belize Kitchen, and we're so thankful to have you today and to share in the tasting with all the beautiful things that you've prepared. So let me just, so you can spend a minute and introduce yourself. Pass this on.
Hi, you guys. I am Chef Kay. I am a Belizean chef. I'm from Belize. I've been doing this for 16 years. Every time I say that, people are like, gosh, how old are you? 38. So I basically gave you guys the most natural, organic foods that are very popular in Belize. So if you were to go, almost every meal is going to have sweet plantain, which is the first thing on the menu that's topped with a curry sauce. And that is, like I said, very organic, herbs, spices, not a lot of salt. In the middle, that is a sweet treat on some of your tables. That is a sweet tea cake. We call it milk cake in Belize. So if you go and say, hey, I want a slice of milk cake, that's what you're going to get. Be much bigger than that, though, I promise. And then the last thing there is Caribbean stew beans with fried jack. Fried jack is pretty much a bread that's used with literally 2 ingredients that we just let sit in yeast, fry it, and that's what you got there. Fried jack and Caribbean stew beans. Hope you guys enjoy.
Thank you. This one is for you.
This one
Because you're of age.
Oh, thank you.
You're so young. I wasn't going to give you one.
So we're starting with our 2000 and, what year is it?
18.
I'm sorry.
Well, today is
2000.
2020, but today, the Chardonnay is a 2018.
2018 Chardonnay. So those of you that have glasses, please join us. If you don't have a glass and you're out there, grab a glass.
Grab a glass.
So one of the most important things about Thursdays is to have some wine.
Wine.
Have your favorite Heringer wine and toast with family or friends.
Yay! Cheers, you guys.
And enjoy a glass with your yummy pairing. And if you're at home, right, there's nothing better than food and wine.
Yeah.
It really, they say food elevates wine, but I would say wine elevates food.
Yes.
Vice
And wine
versa.
elevates the whole night.
Literally.
Yeah.
So
Oh, there's a fly he wants to hang out.
this this Chardonnay
I was gonna say Chardonnay.
is fermented, cold stainless aged, and really chilled fermentation, which really enhances the floral aroma and the fruit characteristic. And then we put it in a barrel and let it age in a barrel. About 50% is aged in barrel, and 50% is aged in tank, right?
Barrel and tank. Stainless steel, you guys.
First off, while we get into this, let me just ask you, we've kind of skipped the part of how your week is going. And
We
what's
did,
new.
and we should actually, because we haven't seen anybody for a month, right? So we haven't done a show for a month, so it's just really exciting to have people back. My week has been great. It's been, it's been cooling down. We've had less smoke, so it's been really nice. We've had a lot of guests come out, so that's been really nice. I haven't been able to go in the pool because it's been smoky, but I told my husband, I texted him before we got on the show today, when I get home, we're going straight in the pool because I'm hot. And he was like, what time are you getting home? So I don't think he wants to go in the pool, but I'm making him go in the pool.
Man.
So, yeah.
Pool does sound nice about now. So it's a little
Right.
warm. We're waiting for the Delta breeze to kick in. So it's joining us here a little bit, but not as much as it normally does.
No, it was super windy this morning, and then now it's not. So you have been very busy this week.
Yeah, so we
And for the next,
we just
3
went
months,
into
you're gonna be busy.
harvest mode,
Yeah?
and we've got quite a few acres of grapes, and we sell grapes to other wineries as well as produce our own estate wine. So we have about 26 different varieties on the ranch across about 4 different locations. And we're servicing over 100 wineries throughout California and the United States.
Isn't that crazy? 100 wineries.
So this is,
So you'll go places, you guys, and sometimes you'll see like Clarksburg on the back of their bottles. We've had people join the membership just because they were like, I tried such and such wine at this place, and they told us it was your guys' grapes. So we came here and joined your wine club, and I was like, well, that's super nice. I'm so happy to have you. But, I went to Chicago to visit my grandma, and the winery I went to intentionally was because they had purchased our grapes.
Yes.
So Illinois, Southern California, the East Coast, that's pretty cool to be able to go
North
visit
Coast, all
our
over.
little babies that we grow here.
Yeah.
So,
So we're at the culmination of about 9 months worth of effort to grow the best grapes possible in the region. And you get, the butterflies in the stomach. Every year, I've been doing this for almost 18 years, which seems hard to believe.
that is crazy.
But every year, it's like getting ready for the big game, right? And you get butterflies and you get nervous. And so I'm happy to report, we started last week, everything's going good in the vineyards, and we got all the equipment cleaned up and ready to go, and everything turned on just fine, and no major
That's always
issues. So
it's when you don't use something for like a year, you're like, please turn on, please turn on.
especially when you got fruit on your
Yeah.
doorstep.
Yeah.
So it's an intense. I was trying to think of how I could explain how intense it is, and it's like the only thing I could relate it to is for those women out here. You could probably identify those of you who had a baby or two. It's like giving birth, and for a guy to say that, I've never given birth, so I don't really know. But if I were to, it's like going through harvest and producing wine every year. You go through 9 months of a growing season, and it culminates at this thing called harvest, where we handpick the fruit into boxes, and you have about a 2 to 3 week window that you're actually producing this wine. Let's say 14 to 21 days, where the sugar is utilized by the yeast and creates the alcohol, and you really can make it or break it in 14 days. And right here, so we start harvest like mid to late August, and then it goes through November. So we basically got 3 months. So it's like a long birthing process.
Thank gosh we don't have to
A
do
long labor, right?
that. No.
or maybe it's like the first 3 months with a newborn, right?
Oh,
We're
that
just,
could be it.
that's kind of, I mean, that's the only way I
Exhausted.
could maybe somehow explain what we go through every year. But it is super intense.
And then this year you had your baby early.
Yes.
Because of the heat. Because when we
Yeah.
hit 110 degrees and everybody was like, oh no. So I wish we brought in the little thing that you test the sugars with.
Oh yes, we do it in the field. It's called a refractometer, and it basically measures like the weight of the sugar through refractive light. So we put the juice sample on, and then we hold it up to the light, and it shows basically the sugar.
Well, next time.
And
Next time I'll have it for you guys.
I'm gonna.
Oh yeah, I'll talk.
Yeah.
Because that way, we'll not hold much. You know, so this Saturday we have our owl release, and if any of you guys have ever been to it, we work with the Wildlife Care Association, and they come in, they do this great program where they tell you about all the animals they rehabilitate. So that's this Saturday, and I actually brought some stuff to show you. I have a friend, she found out I worked at a winery where our mascot was an owl, right? Because the owl protects their grapes. And so she kept bringing me owl necklaces. So I have some with me. I'm going to show you.
Oh my gosh.
It made me laugh this morning as I'm going through my jewelry. I'm like, oh, I have owl necklaces. So.
Yes. So we did this virtual owl release about a month ago, and it was really fun, with the exception of that we didn't really have any people to enjoy the experience with. So with things, starting to open up, everybody's being conscientious, wearing their mask, and we're doing tables and selling tickets online for a live version of our owl release. It's going to be right here in the barn. We've only got about 100 seats available, so if you want to come join us, please reserve. It's this Saturday, and you've got your bling bling.
I did. So
oh my
it's
gosh,
so funny.
look at this.
Look at how cute that is. Right? It's the cutest. It reminds me of a hummingbird, but it really is an owl. And then this is like knock someone out necklace. All right. So I have the knock someone out owl, which I think is super entertaining.
You can see that, right? Oh my god.
And then I have this little guy.
Wow.
And so I was like, I'll just bring them all, and then I forgot to put them on, and I forgot until we were talking. Oh,
I was going to put it on, but it doesn't fit over my head.
It doesn't fit?
So next time. I'll wear it maybe next Saturday.
Oh, the
for
Saturday!
The owl release.
Yes!
Someone will be wearing this, because this thing is really amazing.
That's pretty big. I know. I've got, so she gave me all these, and I was like, well, what will I do with them? Because, when you're in here and you're moving around, like, I'll knock myself out with that one, right? Nobody wants that, so they stay at home with me, but now I have
I love that.
owl necklaces. Yeah.
So just we kind of got sidetracked a little bit.
I'm very good
but
at that.
That was good.
It's my job.
Back to the Chardonnay. So really aromatic. It's got a lot of oak integrated into it from the half that's barrel aged, and just a really beautiful wine. For those, I went to Fresno State and majored in viticulture and enology, and we did a study there. And about half of we did a survey and had people taste unoaked Chardonnay, which is stainless steel fermented Chardonnay without any oak integrated, and oaked, 100% oak Chardonnay, which is aged in oak, and you have the oak integration. And the polls came back, and the survey results were about 50% of the people preferred the unoaked, and 50% preferred the oak. So we
So
went
did you just
with
go with
something
what you liked?
right in the middle, because I love the oak integration, but I also love
Right?
the fruit forwardness of that variety. Just beautiful citrus and like apples and peaches and all that good stuff. So
Yeah.
I like that, and marrying it with the oak, so it creates a really nice,
Relationship.
well-bodied wine that if you like staininess, you can like it, and if you like barrel fermentation and more of that oaky, buttery style, you can really love it too. So
Does anybody have any questions on the Chardonnay? Anything you want to ask? I'll answer all of them. It might be wrong though if I answer it, but I will answer.
yeah, and any questions as we go through this? So we're starting. I didn't even
turn this on.
introduce all the wines. So we're starting with our Chardonnay, And then we're going into a red, our Pinot Noir. And actually we're finishing with our bubbly rosé because it's paired with our little sweet treat.
Yes.
And so we're just gonna save the nice, cool, sparkling for last. And so let's jump into the Pinot Noir.
All right, so you guys, I forgot because it's been a month that usually I pour myself twice as much as I do for Mike because I'm a faster drinker.
Yes, you're good at that.
Mm-hmm. Or it might be because Mike talks more. That could be
A
too.
little bit.
Oh,
It's been a long week, so.
and then what are you doing next week? You're bottling some, right?
Yes, so it's also the coordination of all these logistics that happen one time a year. So we schedule a pre-harvest bottling, right? So we can empty kind of all the tanks and get things lined up. So we're bottling about a little over 2,000 cases.
Wow.
Monday and Tuesday, and processed Sauvignon Blanc today, along with a little Chenin Blanc today that we'll be starting fermentation on. And yeah, it's just it's crazy. Usually I try to get through the bottling so you can get that out of the way before you start receiving grapes. But this year we've had this really crazy heat the last couple weeks that's really catapulted us into harvest. And so it's here, ready or not, you've got to get it done.
Get it done.
Get it done.
Yeah.
So
Pinot Noir, you guys. A nice light, lovely red. Cheers to all of you for the round 2. Yes.
those of you that are joining online, best thing about Thursdays and joining us is enjoying your favorite glass of wine. So
Yes.
Please partake. And if you're viewing this after, then definitely you should have a glass of wine.
A glass, yes.
You're
There's
right.
no excuse then.
Yes.
I don't know. Do you have a favorite wine right now? I caught you off guard. I'll tell you mine while you think.
Okay.
Okay,
Yes.
I have 3 right now. Because
Okay.
it's never just one, it's always more than one.
Yes.
So right now, I'm really enjoying the Nebbiolo because I like it chilled. I think it's really, really nice.
Yeah.
The Alianico has a really nice caramel flavor to it right now, which is really enjoyable. And then the other one is the new Grenache, just because there's so much fruitness and loveliness in it that, so Nebbiolo, Grenache, and Alianico. So I'm sticking to the light reds now.
Nebbiolo, Grenache, and Alianico.
Yeah.
All right. That's kind of like Italian, a little bit theme.
Married one of those.
Grenache.
Yeah. You know I can't roll my R's, you guys. So
Can we try one more
No.
time?
Yes.
Grenache.
Grenache. Grenache.
Yes.
I
there
had
we
a
go.
little roll.
Getting close.
It was close.
Getting close.
That's as good as it gets.
So my favorite wine, I think, I once said, actually I was quoted in an article, someone asked me that, and I said, well, it's the wine that's in my glass. And everybody, all my friends made fun of me, like, really? That's all you could come up with?
That's a great answer.
I'm like,
That's a
come
great
on.
answer. Huh.
But,
That's so funny.
yeah.
Because it's true.
Yeah.
Whatever you put in my glass is going to be my favorite for the moment. So.
But it really depends on, you know, I'm kind of an emotional guy, so it really depends on who I'm with, what I'm eating. I'm really, I take things in sensorially.
Yes.
So it's all about the experience, like who I'm with, how I'm feeling, you know, what I'm eating.
All of the above.
All of the above, and then
Nice.
you just, and then again, I really love wine, so I really can't. It's like picking a favorite child too.
That's what I say all the time. I'm always like, it's like picking my favorite kid.
tough.
I have one, but I won't tell you who it is. That's not true. That's not true.
Yes.
It's the one that's in front of me. All right, so this is the Pinot Noir, and we have paired it with the Fryjack. Is that right? Fryjack? Okay.
Yes.
So, and that's this one? Yes. Okay, the cute little square one, you guys. Not the heart. The heart is dessert. It's
Okay.
for love.
The
Okay.
square, this one.
The square
Okay,
one.
Lovely. So Pinot Noir, one of the things that I love about Pinot Noir is it's our ability to grow it here. A lot of people think we're about 50 miles from the North Coast as the crow flies, and a lot of people think, well, it's maybe a little bit too warm in Clarksburg, but it's actually grows extremely well here. We've been growing it since I think the late 90s. And it started as an experimental varietal in the region, and it's just grown exponentially as Sideways, that movie.
Yes.
Kind of went sideways.
It took me till last year to watch it.
Okay.
I was a little behind.
It's not my favorite movie, but the fact is, it really highlights Pinot Noir in Santa Barbara and some of those areas, and it kind of downplays Merlot, for the lack of a better term. So Pinot Noir, after this movie, just skyrocketed. People's awareness of the variety and the fact that they wanted to enjoy it and try it. It really took the front stage. And it's normally grown like in the north, central, and south coast, so Santa Barbara, Monterey, and then you get into like Sonoma, and then you get out further north into Washington and Oregon.
Right.
Those are extremely cool regions. So the biggest difference between ours, it just has more body, more color than you would find in a traditional,
That's
in
true.
those
It's not
cooler
as light,
climates. But it just really, because we get the delta breezes, our average daily low here is like in the high 50s and low 60s. Very comparable to like Carneros, the regions in Sonoma, where Pinot Noir is really does well as well. So we get a few more hours of sunlight because they've got the fog, right? The coastal fog that doesn't blow off till 9 or 10 o'clock in California. But
by the way, this is super tasty. I really enjoyed the fried jack, and I like it with the Pinot Noir. So well done, good pairing, good job. Yes, I said ready. Question.
How come your Pinot Noir is in a different shaped bottle than most Pinot Noirs?
Oh, that is a great question. That is a great question.
Only the winemaker can answer that.
So normally Pinot Noir you would find in a bottle shaped like this. This is a Burgundy style bottle. And this is more of a Bordeaux shaped style traditional bottle. Bordeaux, like Bordeaux, classic Bordeaux varieties like Cabernet Sauvignon, Cabernet Franc. And this Burgundy is like Chardonnay and other whites you would find. So Pinot Noir is traditionally grown in the Burgundy, so you'd normally find it in a Burgundy bottle. But the question was, why do we put it in the Bordeaux bottle?
That was the question.
That was, I just wanted to make sure I understood.
We understand it. You got it.
But I guess the most simplest answer is we do our bottles in this beautiful screen print. And it's quite expensive to do the screen print. Not that this is a good answer, but
No,
I'm
it's
going
not.
to
It's
give
really
it to
not.
you straight. So when we print these, because it's a red wine, it follows the red package right across the lineup, and it helps us manage our costs. That's such a terrible answer, but that's the answer.
Okay, so if I had answered, we just like the shape of this bottle better for a red wine.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was a better answer.
Yeah.
See?
Does the bottle shape affect the wine in any way?
No, bottle shape does not affect the wine in
Yeah.
any way. And this one's got really cool shoulders. So the other reason, I guess to get more wine-centric on this answer is
We're getting serious now. You
red wine is traditionally bottled in this style of bottle, and it has these beautiful shoulders that as a wine ages, sediment kind of drops to the bottom, and if you're aging a red wine, like Pinot Noir, or Petit Syrah, or Petit Verdot, or Cabernet Sauvignon, then you have a little bit of sediment, on a 10, 15-year-old bottle of wine if you can wait that long. And when you pour this out really slowly, then the shoulder helps catch some of the sediment. So if you pour it out really carefully and you don't shake it up and get wild,
crazy.
pour it out really slowly, you can you catch most of that sediment on that shoulder. Whereas this style bottle is more traditional for white wines, where you wouldn't have that dynamic
The catch.
to worry about.
Yeah.
So you're
Great question.
I like that one.
You're
Yes.
breaking tradition.
Yes.
Breaking tradition. Yes.
Look, I poured myself extra because you had more in your cup, and so I poured myself extra, and I'm still ahead of you.
No, keep going here. It's the
I'll drink more, it's fine.
we have this 'cause I'll do this.
I couldn't eat it all at one time. I was afraid I was eating in front of all of you, and that was not. I don't wanna. Yeah. Ooh,
Yeah,
I didn't open this because I like to hear the pot. You have a question.
I have a question. As the winemaker, you make so many different kinds of wine.
That's a good question. Why do you make that many? No, I'm just
Do you
kidding.
have set formulas? How do you keep your palate clean to even be able to taste all the different things that you're doing and know that they're good or need more of this or that over time or this barrel, that barrel?
Yes, yes. No, good question. So the question was, we make so many wines. We've got about 26 different wines across all different styles, sweet and dry and red and white, light red, heavy red, dessert wines,
Thank you.
right? It just keeps going. I mean, how do we keep it all straight? And as a winemaker, how do I not get the flavors mixed up? And the beautiful thing about most of the styles that we do, the flavor is, oh, what? You did that. You didn't even,
Good job.
that was great. That was really cool.
I was like, I'll just do this while we're talking. Then I was like, oh, but I like the explosion. Sorry,
know.
I was preemptive pouring. It's bad. Go on. I'm sorry.
So the beautiful thing about working with wine grapes is that
Well, you saw one.
Sorry. is that each variety has its own so unique characteristics, flavor profile, flavor as well. So how do we keep it all straight? You know, we work really hard in the vineyard to produce and exemplify each varieties and highlight each variety's natural characteristics to produce the highest quality wine grape for that variety. And then in the winery, we do the same thing. So we're like a steward of that grape when it gets into the winery, and employing all the best techniques for producing wines. And we really let the vineyard be the highlight and the showcase of the fruits of that effort, and let the wines tell their own story. I don't do a lot of manipulating of flavors and characteristics. I'm really true to the varietal character, and then it's just managing, like with white wines, and we could spend all day going through this for sure. Like Viognier specifically is a good example for a white wine because it has very unique tannins in the skins. So that one you have to make sure that you're treating extra gentle so you don't extract so many tannins in a white wine, which normally is not something you're looking for. And then with a Pinot Noir is another good example. It's a very delicate red wine. You want to not over extract it, and it's just a beautiful process, this whole grape growing and winemaking, because there's like about 1,000 variables that you have to work through on an annual basis, and they're constantly changing
I was
from
gonna say
year
they're
to year
different every
basis.
year, right?
And you're learning. I mean, it's a lifelong process, and I'll never learn, everything I need to. I'll still be learning stuff when I die about making wine.
Till he
And,
dies.
till he dies. And so we let the varieties shine, and then the styles of wine you actually have you take more of an active role in developing a dessert wine, right, with fortification, or a rosé is red wine, a red grape that's pressed off early so it doesn't come in contact with the skins for very much time. That creates this beautiful blush wine. What else? Sparkling, right? We just arrest fermentation and do a re-fermentation to create a natural carbonation in the wine. So there's little fun stuff like that happens. One thing that I'm just going off right now, I know it's
Well, tell me more.
I'm excited because it's harvest. And
I
I'm pressing stuff right now. But one thing I'm doing this year that I'm really excited about, and I don't even know, I can't remember the actual name, but it's a really ancient technique. I've been intrigued with trying to do a lower alcohol wine.
Yes.
So I did a lot of research, and there's this really ancient technique where with whites you press off the juice, and then you have the fresh juice that you ferment. But there's still, we don't press very hard, so there's still a lot of sugar and flavor left in the skins and seeds and all that good stuff. So I'm basically going to rehydrate it with a water, just a little bit of water, and ferment that. And you come up with basically like a second birth.
Tell me a lot about babies.
No, I don't know why. I'm not expecting.
Congratulations.
Right? Well, every year I tell everybody it's like I'm having a baby. Every time I go into harvest, it's like we're having a baby out here. Every year it happens.
That's fabulous.
So yeah, it's the never-ending rebirth of our vineyards into wine, and I'm pumped up about it.
Did that answer your question at all?
Yes, that was awesome. I have
Okay.
a question.
Okay, yeah.
So tell me or us about, you have the Norton, which is
Oh, yeah.
an American grade,
Yes.
which I haven't seen that, I'm no wine connoisseur by any stretch of the imagination, but tell us why you decided to do that and just about the Norton.
Oh yeah. So another one of our, we just love to do fun stuff. When we started, we just had 2 varieties, Chardonnay and Petit Syrah. And then when I came back, I really just was so excited about our region and its capacity to grow really high quality grapes and wine. So the question was, what is Norton? Right? It's a Native American grape. Why do we grow it? I guess. Let's see. So the fun answer, this variety is a Native American variety. Most of our traditional varietal wine grapes are native of Europe, native of that area, and were immigrated here, like most of us, from Europe, and we planted them. So pretty much all the varieties are what they call Vitis vinifera, and that is a native, kind of a native European variety. We have Native American varieties, our Vitis labrusca, for the most part. There's a couple other main classifications for the family of the grapes, but Norton is this classification that's native to the Americas and primarily the East Coast. It's not necessarily native of California, but it's definitely native of the East Coast. And do you remember the fun fact about Norton?
Yeah, it's easy to pick it up.
It's very unique. If you had all the varieties of grapes lined up, and if you'd ever seen Norton on the vine, you'd be able to pick it out
You'd
on
be
the
able to
table,
pick it.
which is very rare.
One of our presidents was involved in the Norton grape in making Norton wine.
Yes, yeah. So
And
it was,
it was
Thomas
Jefferson.
Jefferson.
Yes!
Yes.
Okay,
one
guys.
one of the first presidents to
I
make wine.
I really thought I was going to answer that wrong because I've been watching Hamilton so often, right? That I was like, Thomas Jefferson. I was singing it as I was saying it, and I was like, well, that's not right because I'm singing it in my head. But it's Thomas Jefferson.
So, American president, made wine out of this Native American grape on the East Coast. I think it was in Virginia. And so there's probably only 5 acres or so in California. We had one of our wine club members that went and visited the East Coast and brought this bottle of wine back, and he shared it with me, and he said, hey, you gotta check this out. And I tasted it, and I thought it was really, really interesting, along with a lot of the other varieties that we have, like Toraldigo and Alianico, that a lot of people have never heard of. But Norton was very unique, and when I tasted it, little did I know how challenging it would be to grow here in California.
Very easy, that Norton.
And Norton, it's one of our children that takes more time and effort that we love still, but it just makes a really fun wine. It's like a Thanksgiving wine. Really beautiful spice aromas, like
Yeah.
cranberries, and you get kind of Thanksgiving dinner in a wine is the best way I could kind of explain it. It's got a real high acid
I was like, oh,
profile.
it goes with Thanksgiving dinner, and you said, no, it's like a Thanksgiving dinner. It's two different things.
It
You
does.
guys.
It would go well with Thanksgiving dinner too, but
Either way.
So yeah, we planted it, and we got cuttings from Virginia, where it's native to, and we planted it probably 10 years ago, and we just have released a few vintages.
Was 2012 your first?
I think so. It
Yeah.
took a long time to get production, and it still produces. I mean, it's the lowest producing grape that we have on our vineyards. So, but we still love it. It's almost smaller than blueberries. The actual berries.
Well,
And
I feel like that's the one we should taste next time.
they have like 2 or 3 seeds in every berry, so extremely concentrated fruit, and the wine just is really interesting to produce. Just unbelievable color and complexity. But
That was a good question.
yeah, we kind of rolled right into our.
I know. I opened it. We didn't
Rosé
talk about it, but I
are
needed something to drink, so
spark.
I opened it.
Well, thank you. You're always ahead of me. 2 steps
I couldn't
ahead.
help it. I was like, no. So we're drinking the bubbly rosé now. So we started with the Chardonnay, went to the Pinot Noir. We're on the bubbly rosé, and we're having it with the Caribbean tea cake.
Ooh, yes.
Okay, good.
Caribbean tea.
I have already eaten some of it, and it is really good. So I really enjoy it with my bubbly rosé.
Let me just show everybody here.
It's a cute little heart.
Look at that. Look at how beautiful that is.
Look, the wind kicked in, you guys.
Kays Belize Kitchen.
Whatever.
Right? Look at that. I'm going to dig into that here in a minute.
No, it's super good. So the bubbly rosé is made with our Malbec.
Yes.
I almost messed that up because our Hope's Thread is made with the Tempranillo. So
Yes.
I had a moment of wrongness, but I got it right.
Yeah.
It's made with our Malbec grape. It's really easy to drink. It's a great summer wine. I drink this one by the pool frequently. That's a lie. I drink a lot of wine by the pool frequently. But
That's a truer statement.
this is one of them that is in the fold. So
Yes.
frequently is true. But yes, I love this one.
Yeah. So Malbec. So we did. We're kind of going through the varieties that you can use that produce really beautiful rosés. So we've done. Let's see. Pinot Noir. We've done Primitivo. We've done Grenache. This we're working through. This Malbec is absolutely amazing. It's one of my favorites. And then we also did a Tempranillo, and that is in our Hope's Thread Rosé, which is just a beautiful wine as well. So we're having a lot of fun with rosé. And this Malbec as a sparkling wine, it's absolutely gorgeous. The base wine, I aged a few gallons in barrels, and you really get the aroma if you let it warm up, and you enjoy it in this. We didn't have our flutes, but actually I like
Come on
this
now.
better because you can really dig into the wine, you know. So
Yes.
so I really love it. And the
And
Malbec.
then I swirled it. I never swirl my champagne. That's
I
a
know,
crazy thing
right?
to do.
We've got swirl
Don't
issues.
release my bubbles. I don't like that.
So
And then it was gone.
Malbec is a variety. It's primarily grown in
Spain. French. Somewhere. Germany.
No.
Yeah. Damn.
Close,
Anybody
though.
else? Argentina.
Yes,
That's
so
what I meant when
South
I said
America.
Spain.
South America
Jeez Louise.
has put Malbec on the map.
I don't know.
Primarily Chile and Argentina, and we were just so excited to add it to the portfolio. That was good. It's a good try. But I just really love it because if you taste different Malbecs from different areas, you really get you can get totally
Yes.
different wines and so it's one of the varieties that's so dependent on where it's grown. Really manipulates how the wine. It's big and bold and dark in some regions, and then it's lighter and fruitier and more delicate and more aromatic in other regions.
Right.
So it's one of the really, I like it for that reason. It just really showcases the terroir, right? It's
Yes.
one of the varieties that you can really pick that out.
Do you guys know what terroir is? Terroir. Does anybody know what that is?
No.
Terroir.
Terroir.
The land, the place, the land, the place.
Yes, yes. It's kind of all the impacts of an area, a region, the
Dirt,
soils,
all of it.
the impacts.
Sometimes Mike knows these words, you guys, and I am not caught up on all of this. Like I said, I make stuff up if I don't know about it, right? So that one I knew, but I want to make sure everybody knew that. So you know what I love? Have you guys ever done a party where everybody brings like the same wine from different areas, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's one of my favorite things to do is to do that so you can actually see the difference. And if you're going to do that, Malbec is actually really one of those that you can really taste the difference in each region. It's such a fun party when you can do something like that. And then you go, oh, well, and then you can narrow it down to what region you like too. So you may not like, Spain.
Who doesn't like Spain? I mean,
Weird. You may not like that. So, it's something that if you get them all together and you taste them side by side, so like Oregon, California, you can start doing that and really narrowing down really where you like that particular wine from.
yeah.
I like all my wines from here. I don't know about you guys.
Amen. I'll drink to that.
So I'm just saying.
Yes. Can I have a little bit more?
No.
No? Okay.
Yes.
So,
You guys have any questions? Anybody
yeah,
about this
is there any
one?
questions?
I love the descriptors you're putting on the bottles now with the information.
Thank you.
Phenomenal. I love that.
Wonderful. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
We
one of my
just-
favorite things because when I'm having a party and if I don't know anything about the wine, I can go, well, this one has some cranberry and dark chocolate notes to it, right? A little faking is great.
Yes. Thank you for sharing that. So the comment was really love the descriptors that we put on the back. We have pretty much all the square footage here on the bottle.
Yeah.
So yeah, we were able to add descriptors, production notes, and all that good
Yeah, because this
stuff.
one I'll tell you that
On
it
the
was
bottle.
in half oak, half stainless. So it gives you all the notes that you might want to know, how long you can age it.
Yeah.
Mike works really hard at you being able to age your wine from here. I am unable to age wine, I'm not good at it. But if you want to age wine, Mike lets you know how long you can age it on the bottle. Most of our wines are able to be cellared up to 10 years, and that's from the date on the front, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the date on the front, not the date that you purchase it. Because we tend to
Yes,
age our
that's a good
wine
point, right?
2 to 3 years. So,
Yeah.
we're already taking 2 to 3 years from you, and that's for a good reason. It's
Yeah.
because the wine tastes better when we do that.
Mhm.
So we're building that for your cellar or for now. Whereas a lot of wineries right now, you're seeing that they're trying to put out wine that you drink for now and you aren't cellaring. And
That's a good point.
I'm just speaking. Tell him I need a raise. I'm just
There you
saying,
go.
like he puts a lot of effort into making it so you can cellar it if you want to, and that it'll be good for 7, 8, 10 years after you purchase it.
Yeah. Even the lighter
Yeah.
lighter style wine like Pinot Noir or Primitivo, the Malbec, Grenache,
Mhm.
they're all kind of in that the medium, lighter bodied red category, and those can all be aged up to 10 years. The bigger reds can go 20 plus years, which is exciting. Again, it's hard to wait that long.
It really
But
is.
that's when you grab your case and you try to, even if you had a bottle a year, you'd only be at 12 years. So,
Yeah.
or maybe you'd be at 15 because we age it 2 or 3 years for
Yes.
you. But yeah, we only have a few bottles left from our first vintage, which was 2002. Which is going to be coming up on 20 years. It's been a long time. I've aged quite a bit since then. But yeah, it's really fun to see those wines and explore them as they age. So you buy a case, you have a bottle every year, you're able to watch that wine grow old and get wiser
Like
in the
child.
bottle. I know
I
this
brought it
child
back
thing
around.
is killing me here.
All right, does anybody have any questions before we
Wait,
finish
let's
up?
end this and then you can ask
Oh,
questions.
I
of
think
everyone.
so. Yeah, I think we're gonna hang out here for a minute, but we'd love.
Oh, and we want to
Having you
reintroduce Miss
guys.
Chef Kay.
Yes, and we want to thank Ms. Cafe. So where can we find?
Oh, we haven't even been talking to Mike. Sorry.
Where
Everybody
can we
know the
find?
address.
Is this thing even on? Where can we find your beautiful goodies?
So since everything is virtual now, this is actually a barcode, a QR code that all the business pages are providing for us now, which has all your information on there. That's the stop of us passing out cards. So if you scan this, you actually get like my email address, phone number, and you get to see menus, my Facebook, and see food, parties.
She doesn't have to
events,
scan it
different things
online.
that I've done.
I'm showing my age here.
So we're the same age. So I'll probably put it like right there, and you just scan it, you get all my information. Yeah, you go from this. Okay, I'm glad you guys enjoyed the food.
Yes, it was great. Thank you. I really did. I enjoyed all the food.
Yes, so we're super thankful for you guys joining us online. We wish you stay safe out there and enjoy some great wine this weekend. We're so thankful to be here and to enjoy another beautiful harvest with you. Come out and
Yes.
join us. If you're in the area, we'd love to host you. Courtney would love to host you. We'd love to see you here. And thank you all for joining us.
Yes, thanks for coming out, you guys.
So thankful for you guys to be here as well. And so yeah, we will see you next time.
Well, that's good. All right.
God bless and stay safe.
Look, I gotta dance my way out.
There you go. Courtney's a dancer.